All right. The first thing I want to do, and we've compared and ordered decimals in class today. I want to unlock this problem. I want to walk you through the steps you need to take to really be successful in comparing ordering numbers, especially those with decimals. So the first thing I want to do is I want to compare the whole numbers. So I can see that the whole numbers are equal. So that's not going to work, is it? So I need to take step 2. Step 2, I'm going to compare each decimal value. Starting with tenths, then hundredths, then thousandths. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to compare. So I've got 7, 7, 7, 7. So these are the same and these are the same, but then I have 4 here and I have 3 here. Okay, so now let's take a look and look at step 3. If one number has more digits, add a 0 to make an even decimal to accurately compare. So this will be 7 and 74 hundredths and 7 and 735 thousandths. And I can see that 4 is greater than 3, so it's going to be greater than. So 7 and 74 hundredths is greater than 7 and 735 thousandths. So let's try this. The table lists some of the mountains in the United States that are over 2 miles high. How does the height of Cloud Peak in Wyoming compare to the height of Boundary Peak in Nevada? So let's see. Boundary Peak's height is 2 and 48 hundredths, and Cloud Peaks in Wyoming is 2 and 475 thousandths. So I'm going to compare 2 and so I can look here and I'm going to add a 0 because this has 3, so I want 3. So 2 and 2 are the same, 4 and 4 are the same, 8 and 7. 8 is greater than 7. So Boundary Peak is greater than Cloud Peak's height. The greatest place value where the digits differ is the hundredths place. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these numbers and we're going to arrange them from greatest to least. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start with my comparison. Well, they all have 1, so that won't work. They all have 3. I have 3, I have 8, I have 2, I have 1. So my least is going to be the bottom one. So it's going to be 1 and 31 hundredths. So that one is done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look. I'm going to go, okay, well then this is going to be 1 and 32 hundredths. 1 and 321 thousandths is going to be my next greatest. And yes, I always start from the least and work my way up. Then I know that it's going to be 1 because 3 and 8, so 8's going to be the greatest. 1 and 383 thousandths. So that leaves me with 1 and 33 hundredths. So that's going to be how that works. Go ahead and flip it over to the back so we can finish up our notes. Jay, Elena, Edwin, and Stacy worked together to complete a science experiment. The table shows the amount of liquid left in each of their beakers at the end of the experiment. Order these numbers from least to greatest. Just like in class today, you could create a number line and list them on the number line first. Or you can do the comparison like we did on the other side and do that as well. But I can look and I can see that I have 75 hundredths and I have 8 tenths. Well, let's see. 7 is less than 8, so 75 hundredths is going to be first. Then I have 8 tenths because I know that's going to be next. Now it's between 1 and 5 thousandths and 1 and 2 tenths. Well, let's do that. 1.05, 1.2. Looking at those 2 is greater than 0, so then I'm going to have 1 and 5 tenths, and then I'm going to have 1 and 2 tenths. All right? Now what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and compare these. I want you to pause the video, compare the top row, and order from least to greatest and greatest to least on your own. then I want you to come back and check the video. Fantastic. So I can look here. 2, 2, 2 are the same. 2 and 79, 2 and 8/10, 2 and 8/10. So this is less than. If I could draw my less than correctly, I'd be dangerous. And this is going to be equal. I'm looking at this one. I have 5 being the same. And this is the greatest one. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this one. And 2 is greater than 1, so I'm going to go this way. And comparing 87/100ths, 9/10ths, and 6/600ths. So 87/100ths to 900ths, 87/100ths, 8's less than 9, and 0 is less than 9. So that's how that should look. In order to order these from least to greatest, I'm going to do it just like this. Then from greatest to least. Your notes are done. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow. Get your Mobiumax done.